It's time for bookkeeping, beer, and BS. So we've got the funnel now. Our funnel is filled. Now we need a process to convert them. Now we even know who we want. We're reaching out to the right people. When Rob's reaching out, Rob, you said you got 12 people lined up for your Gaunlet interview tomorrow, I think. How did you select those people to invite them? I imagine you invited more than 12. So how did you select them? What was the process to say like this one, this one, this one, this one, this one? How did you communicate to them that they had been selected? And then from there, we'll start talking about that interview process.
So the first and foremost, I try to stay as uninvolved in that process as I can until we get to the actual interviews. Usually it's like, all right, so hi, what's your name? And I'm now looking at their resume for the first time. We got 2 office people, and then my foreman do a good bit of pre-screening. We do the quick look at their resume. Does that look any red flags there? Do a quick little social media search real quick, look for any fast red flags on that.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah, because people can put all kinds of things on their resume, but usually the red flags are not hard to find on social media. It's usually like
they put it in like
picture,
their profile picture
and their first 3 things. Like, you don't have, if you're having to go through like their 12th picture to find something or 12th post to find something, they're fine. You're digging too much. It's amazing just with the basic information, name, what school, what city they live in. You can, with reasonable certainty, find that. And we'll do a preliminary case search on them. So
where do you go to do that?
For Maryland, it's just judicialcasesearch.com.
Cool.
With us being on state lines, we do have to check every once in a while at Delaware. And we had one guy that after hiring him last year or 2 years ago, found out that he'd had some issues going on in the state of Virginia and wasn't allowed to go back to Virginia again.
You found that out when you scheduled him for a job in Virginia?
Oh, it was fun when I found that out on the like hour and 15-minute drive back from the job site, and he just like spilled all of his guts without me like really asking anything. And all of a sudden I'm like, sweet, I'm in this car. This is a really, really awkward situation. He's gonna get out of the car and be like, bud, you're fired.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Thanks. Give me the shirt. See ya.
You did really good today. We just can't employ you now that I know all that. So thanks for divulging.
Now everything else we saw makes total sense in how you behave.
Yeah. Thanks for confirming our suspicions.
But yeah, so we go through those. We, again, trying to weed out people quickly. And then we schedule them all. See, hey, are you available for interviews? We start from 7 a.m., fill up 2 slots every 15 minutes. And if we can do 8 an hour, that's phenomenal. If we can, if we schedule 8 and we get 5 to show up, that's hashtag winning. Hashtag.
Yeah. If you get better than 50% that show up, that's a good interview session. Yeah. So how, you're checking, they get scored. You guys are using our career plug system that we use. So they get scored, they come in, your office team reaches out to them, does some preliminary research, invites them in. Yep. What's the timeline of like when they apply versus when you reach out? Do you do it within the hour, within the day? How do you dictate that?
It usually takes a couple days, I think, and that's kind of a good point in talking through this, that it needs to be almost faster. We do the interview gauntlets. We do them basically every 2 weeks. We kind of figured out that, like you said, if we're scheduling somebody for a big interview session 3 weeks from now, they should have already been interviewed at 5 other places and already have a job before it's been 3 weeks. And if they're still available in 3 weeks, there's probably a reason.
Yeah. They've interviewed other places and didn't take a job yet, which might be a bad sign.
Yeah.
Our rule internally is they need to hear from us within 24 hours of applying. It's basically the same rule we would use with a potential client. Okay. We actually use the same rule on our bookkeeping team. Now that I think about it, like if somebody reaches out to us, they get 24 hours to to hear back from us. And I won't say we're perfect on it, but we find that because of how hot the labor market is, if they don't hear from us within 24 hours, there's a good chance that we don't hear back from them. And we do reach out because they probably already probably already have 6 interviews lined up and maybe even already took a job by now. So we try to do a 24-hour turnaround period. I don't think we always hit it, but that's the goal anyway.
That's a really good point.
Do you reach out to them via text when you see them come through? Do you have like a preferred method of
We
communication?
typically call them. I mean, that's the quickest way. There's so much. I mean, if you're texting them, you're waiting for a response. If you're emailing them, you're hoping that they actually saw that email.
Mhm.
It also gives us a couple quick, opportunities to judge them over the phone. Go ahead and sometimes we have people that it's like they'll go ahead and answer a couple things for us and be like, nah, bro, I don't want to do that. Like, all right, cool, man, thanks. We've had people for the sales position that apply that I called them real quick and was like, hey, I think you'd be awesome. I think what you're doing right now is like multiple levels up above us. We had a guy who was like overseeing multiple target locations. And I was like, unless you're really looking to like de-stress your life and like you don't want to be that part of corporate America, like we're not going to be able to offer a comparable situation to that.